PWHL, I think, GG, when it comes to the Professional Women's Hockey League that's been launched in North America with the 6 teams, aside from them having no names and logos and just being known as PWHL Boston or PWHL Toronto, I think it's been an overwhelming success early on. Not just the hockey's been really, really good. There's been some phenomenal plays and players. The physicality as well has been really good, but the crowds and the support, like as you know, GG, and a lot of people probably know too from tuning into this podcast, I'm a bit of a Minnesota hockey fan, so I support the Golden Gophers in college. When it was announced that the PWHL Minnesota was going to play at a Excel Center, I didn't actually think... I was worried about the crowd size for an arena that big, but the fact that they got over 13,000 to the opening game was just unbelievable. I think it's been a great success early on, the PWHL.
Yeah, I was listening to Jeff Merrick interviewing Rattray from PWHL Boston, and that's the word that they both used, was overwhelming. It's been really well done. Besides, as you say, the logos and that not having been sorted, because the priority was to start, January 2024. Everything else has been exceptional. Even the clarity and interpretation of what is a IIHF rule book for the league. It's the interpretation has allowed more contact, which has been interesting, and I think fans have appreciated. It'll be interesting to keep an eye out to. I believe PWHL Montreal have their first home game at Plus Bell at the Bell Center, and they've been steadily selling tickets. So I wonder, I'm not sure if they'll crack the 13,300 mark set by Minnesota, but man, it's been good to see the crowds.
And
just Phil Taylor in the chat, it's been pretty awesome so far, and they love the hybrid icing rule as well. Yes.
Yeah, there's been a couple of, there's been some differences in the PWHL to NHL, which has been really cool. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say to you now after I read Phil's.
This is an interesting comment from Sean. Is having the games available to stream for free on YouTube outside of North America a good move for growing the exposure of the new league, or should they have looked to partner with overseas streaming platforms? I'll get you to answer this one first, Doogie, and then I'll save my rebuttal.
I actually think it's a good move early on, especially until they can gauge where the platform sits and where the sport sits and the audience and things like that. I think it was the opening game of the season. I tuned in. I had the YouTube on my phone, and I was just listening to it as I was driving to work, and I think there was over 15,000 people had tuned into the YouTube stream. So I think early on, I think it's a good move early on, but obviously once the league grows, there will be more teams eventually. It's not going to stay at 6 teams. There'll be more teams eventually. I think they might start to look at different partners and platforms overseas potentially.
Yeah, it's interesting because this came up. Jamie Lee Rattray brought it up on today with Jeff Merrick, where she said that one of the reasons why she thinks there's been such an overwhelming response, and people messaging and saying this is great, congratulations, blah blah blah, like her phone is just popping off. One of the reasons she said was because games are so accessible, it's so easy to view, and she says that's a big difference. I remember with the old CWHL and NWHL and PHF, like you'd be, creating a Twitch account to be able to view the games, and how many people are going to be doing that? Like how many audience, what percentage do you lose of a potential audience by limiting it to a very particular platform? So I think YouTube is great, and certainly when we interviewed Michaela Fellows about the stream, one of the things was having it on YouTube this season makes it, and some of the anecdotal feedback of people saying that they've watched so many more games because it's so easy.
Yeah, and YouTube it's just accessible to everyone. Like if you get a phone, YouTube's automatically, and a lot of phones just automatically downloaded to the phone. So you're not going out trying to get some other app or whatever, or you don't even have to have the app. You can just punch in YouTube into your browser on your phone if you want to watch it on your phone. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but good question. PWHL Minnesota, they're a wagon, Doogie.
Yeah, well, they sit on top of the standings, haven't lost yet. Played 3, won 3. Montreal is second. Played 3, won 2. So they're 2-1-1. New York is third. They've won 1, lost 2. Then Toronto's the same. Ottawa and Boston rounded out. They've only played the 1 game each, Ottawa and Boston. I haven't picked the team yet for the PWHL. I don't know if I will. I do like Minnesota, as I said before. I've always been a bit of a Minnesota hockey fan, the state of Minnesota, and Taylor Heise has just been absolutely electric since the PWHL has started. And there was a bar down goal to open up things for Minnesota, and then there was this just absolutely nasty goal, and we'll chuck it up now. Just hands, just unbelievable, just filthy.
And now here's Kruzova. Denisa Kruzova, 29 years old, also played her college hockey at Northeastern. And out top, no, this is Heise again. She scores! Taylor Heise. Second of the game, and Minnesota's back in front.
That was nasty. In a phone booth, Taylor Heise makes it 2-1. Clay, we're already on hat trick watch again. We had one in the first game here at the XL Energy Center. Wow. I mean, come on. She can't.
That's just filthy mitts.
And the first goal was a beauty too. Like where she cuts inside, just about breaks the defender's ankles and goes top cheddar. So yeah, it's not bad.
I've got a message here. I'll see. You might know him through shout out to Kerry Goulet, Gooch Live, Corey Katina.
Oh yeah. Well, just the name.
Yeah. So I was talking to him through Messenger, and he actually skated with Taylor before, and he was telling me that he is not surprised at all with the way that she's come in and how she was number 1 pick from his experience of actually skating on the ice with Taylor previously. So massive, going to be massive for the PWHL.
Yeah, is fast becoming, I think, a lot of players' favorite player. So yeah, just unreal.
There was also something that caught your eye. Is that right?
Yeah. So the one of the rules, which they were toying with a few different rules in preseason leading up to the league starting. The power play going the full 2 minutes and a few other things, but one of them was that a shorthanded goal stops a penalty, and we finally got to see one. Yeah. Are you going to put that up, Dougie?
I can chuck it up now if you want.
Thanks,
I
mate.
think it's a sick rule. I do.
Yeah.
Toronto has shown they are dangerous when shorthanded, and here they come again on the rush. It's Comfer.
Let's see if Levy has it.
Comfer takes the shot. Save, they score! Emma Malte puts Toronto on top. The penalty is over. We've got our first shorthanded goal.
I mean, it's impossible at that point. Shorthanded. See Comfort come in.
I love the rule.
Yeah.
I would love to see it brought into hockey across the board.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine it here in Australia? The Melbourne Ice would never be on the penalty kill. A penalty would never go 2 minutes with the Melbourne Ice involved. Like, it would be insane.
It would. It'd be unreal. It's such a I don't know, it just adds so much, I think.
Yeah. Adds another dimension of special teams. This is from Sean. I think it is a great idea. Bring it to Oz. Yep. 100% agree. I mean, I wouldn't be. I guess the equaler would be to make the penalty the full 2 minutes, even if the team with the advantage scores. I guess that would be an advantage and a bigger incentive even to just go all out and attack on the PK. Phil Taylor, yep, good incentive to be attacking when shorthanded. Here's Tommy Harkness. Love the rule, but would have loved it more if they kept the full 2 minute power play, even if the attacking team scores. We're speaking the same language, Tom. So yeah, thank you. Tom sent me a message and called me Gigi in the message. So it's spread. You can tell Lainey that it's spread. But yet, Tom was coaching the Brisbane Blitz. I saw on social media. He and was it Julian Fodor were doing a coaching session with Josh Labrie and the Brisbane Blitz. Yeah, so let us know in the comments how that went, Tom. But yeah, and Tom was the one he messaged about the interpretation for contact of the IHF rulebook. Yeah,
and I know when you listen to shows like Jeff Merrick and things like that, they talk about the women. The women want the contact. They want to play with the contact. And one thing that people always mention is it gets rid of that. Oh, it's different to the men or the boys or whatever. And it's not. The contact's not there. That takes away that argument as well against women's hockey. But the women actually want it. And we've spoken to people within the game here, 2GG coaches who say that the women here in Australia, they want the contact too.
Yeah, we did get a comment from someone about, that they'd be all for it. The only caveat would be that there just needs to be consistency. Like the referees need to be in agreement with this is how we interpret the rules. This is what's allowed and what's not allowed, and that's passed on to the teams. But yeah, I think it would be great. And when you watch the games, both here and the PWHL, you hear the crowd respond to those to that physicality in a positive way. So I think fans in general would be appreciative.